The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the students and the educators who make Mobile County Public Schools the best school system in the state of Alabama. I am your host, Renee Phillips, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite projects that we do all year. It is the Learning Leading Awards. And so what is that? We have a motto here in Mobile County Public Schools that is Learning Today, Leading Tomorrow. And each of our 89 schools gets to select one student who exemplifies that motto. These are leaders in their community. They are learning academically and excelling in the classroom, but more importantly too, or just as importantly, is they're going out there and doing great things at school and in their community that make a difference. And so all 89 schools pick one winner, and from those we select an elementary winner, a middle school winner, and a high school winner. And these are some of the most fantastic people you'll ever meet, and I'm going to introduce you to 3 of them today. And so for this first segment, I'm introducing you to Brooklyn Cranmore. She is a 3rd grader at O'Rourke Elementary School, which is one of our youngest winners at 3rd grade. And I also have her teacher, Miss Bridget Archer, joining us. And so tell us, I know we surprised Brooklyn at her school, and I know that was a big day. So what was that like when we came there and told her that she was the countywide winner?
Oh, well, Brooklyn's always a joy, and she was definitely surprised that day because, you know, to win something so big is just, you know, kind of touches her, and it touches us as well because, you know, we have wonderful students all over, but to have something this special just makes the day exciting. And
O'Rourke is a big school. You have about 1,000 students?
Yeah, we have right at 1,000 students. So to narrow it down to one is hard because we have everyone's special, you know, but to find that shining star is great.
So what stood out, because you were on the committee that selected her, what stood out about Brooklyn?
Brooklyn exemplifies leading. She's a quiet kid, so she doesn't boast or brag about her leadership abilities, but she does special things in a humble way, which I think is, you know, beautiful. She is somebody who works for McKimmey Place, the women's homeless shelter. She works with Family Promise, which is a homeless shelter for families. She does things at her church. She helps her uncle who has special needs. So she has her hands in lots of different projects, and she does it so just willingly and kindly.
I love that, willingly and kindly. And so we have some video from when we went out to O'Rourke Elementary School to surprise Brooklyn. So we're going to run that video, and when we come back from the video, we're going to talk more about what makes her such a great learner and leader.
Brooklyn is a learner who is a leader. She is an excellent student. She's friendly. She helps her peers. She is one who is always willing to answer a question and volunteer to help people in her class. But she also takes an active role in her community. So she has, from an early age, helped with Family Promise, making beds, helping with meals, and then she goes to McKimmey Place since she was 3 years old. The women there love her. They ask for her by name. They see her on a weekly basis, so they form a bond with Brooklyn. And she is one to step in and talk to these women. She communicates well with them. She asks them about their day and really kind of tries to form a bond with them. I am extremely proud of Brooklyn. She's one of those kids that really makes our community a better place.
Wow, what a fantastic student Brooklyn is. And so one thing I want to talk about is McKimmey Place. So you're familiar with her work there. That's a shelter for homeless women.
Yes.
So what does she do there?
So McKimmey has just got a new home, so they've renovated McKimmey. And so before the renovation, Brooklyn has been there. She's been working there since she was like 3, going weekly, taking meals to McKimmey, helping do goodie bags and helping, you know, make beds and just talking to these women. You know, just that interaction to talk to some people and make them feel like they're everybody else really helps these women. And now that they've had a renovation project, you know, she's helped paint rooms, and she's still there. When Brooklyn is missing, they ask for her by name, like, where is Brooklyn? She's like the McKimmey mascot, you know, and she's still there making meals, helping out, serving dishes, bringing desserts, and she's not one to like just stand in line and pass out. Like, she's there serving these women, you know, weekly.
And that's one thing we talk about as being a good servant leader. So it's not just doing the task of preparing the meals and bringing the desserts, it's talking to people and making them feel loved.
Personal touch.
Right, so I love that. And then another thing that she does, well, I heard she did 200 gift bags.
Yes.
Like, she recognized a need that they needed some toiletry items.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're there and you need a hairbrush and a toothbrush and deodorant, just basic necessities that she saw that these women were lacking. And so she took it upon herself to gather these items and make it like a present, a treat. And they really love that about her.
And then I know at her church, you're not only a teacher of hers, you go to church with her, and I've heard that she's done some blessing boxes.
So we have these boxes outside of our church. We call them blessing boxes, where, you know, if we're not there to give out food bags, you can just go and get items. So she is there, like, you know, checking, making sure, are there canned goods there? Are there, you know, macaroni? Is there pasta? Are there diapers or formula? And if there's not, she's there in the food pantry, gathering these items, putting them out, making sure that people have what they need.
And that's great. And then I know there's another group she works with that's near and dear to your heart and to mine, because we've done work with Junior League of Mobile at it, and that's Family Promise.
Yes, Family Promise.
A group of churches get together and house homeless and serve them meals. So what does Brooklyn do with Family Promise?
Well, Brooklyn, just like my children, has learned to make a bed through Family Promise. I think probably your children too have made beds through Family Promise. And you know, she makes beds. She makes sure that their sheets match so that they have these, you know, a wonderful setup. She makes meals and comes and helps her grandmother make meals, and she plays with their children, which is so great to have other kids to play with.
That's great. I know from her application, I'm going to read this quote because I just love it. She's incredibly humble. You would never know what Brooklyn does outside of school because she would never brag on herself. That's not her. So
No.
she's doing well in school, but she doesn't talk about all the great things she's doing after school.
No.
And that's a testimony to her
It
spirit,
is.
right?
That is her spirit. You know, she's not going to brag. You're not going to know that she does it, but inside that sweet little face is just this humble heart that takes care of everyone.
And I want to ask you how special this award is, because I know just a few years ago we were at O'Rourke awarding your daughter the award, who does some of these same activities. So what do you think it means that the school system recognizes this, and what does it mean to the students in the schools?
This is my favorite award. This trumps everything because it recognizes the whole child. You know, academics are very important, and so are, you know, sports and all that, but to me this represents a whole child, and we have to teach our children to love and care for one another in order to make a better community.
Right, and that's why I love our motto, learning today, leading tomorrow. So it's that whole child, like you said, it's the academics, it's the athletics, the arts, but it's also how to be a good person.
Absolutely.
And so I love that about our motto. And so we have to break for commercial. Brooklyn, it's been so nice seeing you, and we are so proud of you, and we're looking forward to what you're going to do as you grow up and go into middle school and high school, but not for 2 more years. O'Rourke gets to keep you for 2 years, right? So, all right, and so coming back, when we get back from commercial, I'm going to introduce you to our middle school winner, who is Kinsley Baker, and our high school winner, who is Lane Stiferack. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools.
When parents are involved in school, you get more of this and less of this.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom, where we are introducing you to our Learning Leading Award winners. So what this is each school picks one student who exemplifies our Learning Today, Leading Tomorrow motto, and from them we pick one elementary school winner, one middle school winner, and a high school winner. I introduced you in the last segment to Brooklyn Cranmore, who is our winner in elementary school. She goes to O'Rourke. And joining me now, I have Kinsley Baker, who is a student at Booker T. Washington Middle School, and you are our middle school learning leading winner. So tell us, we came to your school one day and surprised you and said that out of the whole county, you're the winner. What was that like?
It was very surprising. Like, I had no clue. And Ms. Williams kept on dropping hints, was like, hey, asking me questions, interview questions. I was like, okay. And then y'all showed up, and it was amazing. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and I think what struck me is we had the camera and we were asking you questions and you were so poised and on the spot. You were answering your questions really well.
I was just in the moment. I was like, okay, I have to do this. I cannot just not answer the questions. So it just flowed out of me like water.
Well, you were great, and we could see why you were the learning leading winner. It just, we could tell that you were a great student. And so one of the things that you do is that you head up a food pantry project. So can you tell us like how that got started and what that was?
Particularly, I'm over the Red Ribbon Ambassador program in my school, and we have to give one great volunteering program, and I chose the food pantry that was local to my peers, because I know a lot of my peers that are not as fortunate as I am. So we chose that pantry, and from there it was like lightning.
Mm-hmm. So knowing students who may be hungry, does that influence you to want to help them?
It does. Knowing that I can make a difference with these kids and with these peers of mine, I definitely was eager to help those.
Okay, and so what was that like? What did you do or collect, or how did it work?
We went around in my school and in the community, and most people gifted us, canned goods and coupons and money. LaFleur Alumni was one of our greatest donators to our program, and that's how we funded our program for those food pantries.
Okay, and then how much did you collect?
We collected well over, I believe, $150.
Mm-hmm. And then were you able to give it out to families?
We gave it to the food pantry, and we don't know how they distribute it, but it all went to the local food pantry.
And that's great because you took leadership, your whole school got involved in it. And so do you think that that's something that is good for kids to do? Like not just the academics, but to help out?
I do, because most of my classmates know kids that are not as fortunate, but they may be one of those kids that are not as fortunate. And they know someone out there that can help them, they may be inspired to help those.
And that's part of the Red Ribbon initiative. So what was that? You were selected at your school, and then you do a leadership activity?
I was already into volunteering, so they was like, okay, let's get someone that's, in that field and that's comfortable with doing it and willing to do it. And they was just like, hey, do you want to lead our Red Ribbon Ambassador program? And I was like, I was surprised as well, but I did it.
Oh, that's great. And I want to talk about some more things that you do, but I know that we have in our remote set, we have your principal, Miss Johnny Williams. This is her first year at Booker T. Washington, and you were somebody that stood out to her, and she nominated you for this position. And so, Miss Williams, tell me, what was it about Kinsley that just struck you and that made you know that she needed to receive this award?
Well, as soon as I read the description, I knew that Kinsley Baker exemplified the Learning Leading Award. Not only does she excel academically, she also takes time to work with her peers. And once I heard about all the wonderful things that she does at the school, I also saw that she extended that care into the community. So she was the perfect candidate.
And I know one thing that you wrote was she has a bright smile and she's welcoming. Anytime a new student comes to Booker T. Washington, she's someone who helps them out. So what does that mean to you as a principal to have a student like that you know will make students feel welcome and want to come to school?
Yes, I initially noticed that special quality in Kinsley, and as you and I have spoken, and she gave that same welcoming spirit to me. And so from any adult to any child that enters the building, she's there just making sure that everybody feels comfortable and that people want to return to Booker T. Washington. And so she helps to really show the spirit and what we want to have all of our students to display at Booker T. Washington.
I love that, the spirit. And so tell me, what was it like for you as an educator, a leader, when we showed up at your school and said, surprise, she's won it for the whole county?
Yes, it was very exciting. And so, in preparation, I was telling Kinsley that we were going to celebrate her for being the local winner at our school. And so that's how we were able to set everything up with her parents and just kind of not let the cat out of the bag. So just having Kinsley to be a model in our school. So it's one thing for for the adults to say things, but for a student to speak out and talk about how important it is to be empathetic and to know that in order to excel in our world, we just can't have the academics. We have to be well-rounded individuals who reach outside of ourselves in order to help our community. So her message is one that I hope will spread throughout the entire building.
I love that, and she's such a role model to them all. So
Yes.
thank you for joining us from our remote studio. I'm going to return it back to Kinsley. Your principal just said you're a role model. What's it like to hear her say that?
It's very surprising because you won't hear that from most people. Most people is not, those people that will tell you how a person is, honestly. And that's very surprising because I don't try to be a role model. It just happens. And
Seems like it's something that comes naturally.
yes, ma'am.
Because you want to help people? Is that what it is?
I do. I like giving. I like giving gifts. Any holiday, I give gifts. So that's something that's just always been a part of me.
And one thing that we were talking about that you do, you're a student planner at your school. You plan a lot of events. So talk to us about that.
I plan most of our proms, dances, graduations, and pep rallies. That was just like the teachers and plan it, but we have a lot of older teachers, and as generations come on, there become younger kids and younger attractions. And someone had to be young enough to, understand and also incorporate our education into these events. And I guess I took forth that effort in.
So I'm going to show my age, but you make them cool, right? You make it where kids want to come.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's that like to be able to plan events that you know that your fellow students are going to come to and you want them to enjoy?
It's not stressful, but I would say it takes a lot. It definitely takes support from my principal and the faculty and staff at Booker T. Washington.
That's great. And so another thing, you play the tuba.
Yes, ma'am.
So why the tuba? What made you want to play that? And tell us about that.
At the moment, I was going to Dunbar, and we had to play an instrument, or we had to have some type of physical sport, and I chose band. And my band teacher was like, "Hey, I think you'll be a wonderful tuba player." And from that point on, I loved and accepted the tuba.
So you don't see a lot of girls who play tuba?
I don't. I was the only girl that played the tuba at the moment. I know one young lady that plays the tuba at LaFleur, but other than that, I was the only female I knew that played the tuba.
Do you like to carry it? Have you marched in
I
parades
did
or
not
anything?
like to carry the tuba. I mostly played concert with my tuba because I was because of my height and my weight, I was not able to lift the tuba.
Yeah, but you still love it.
I did.
You love the sound?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a powerful instrument.
Because it really leads the band, and it is a percussion and a wood. A percussion and a brass. It's most definitely the heart of the band, and to be part of something that big was phenomenal for me.
And I love it. The word that you use to describe a tuba is leader, and that's what you are. You are a leader at Booker T. Washington, and you're a leader in the Mobile County Public School System, so congratulations on your award. We are very proud of you, and we have to break for commercial, but when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Lane Stefuric, who is our high school winner. She's from Davidson High School of the Learning Leading Awards, so stay tuned. Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS Athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
Welcome back to Homeroom. Today we are introducing you to some fantastic students. These are the winners of our Learning Leading Awards. They exemplify our motto in Mobile County Public Schools of learning today, leading tomorrow. We introduced you earlier to our elementary school winner, Brooklyn Cranmore from O'Rourke, and to our middle school winner, Kinsley Baker of Booker T. Washington. And now joining me, I have Lane Stafuric, who is a student at Davidson High School, a senior. And so tell us, you're in the IB program. That's a very prestigious program. It's a hard program. What's it like being in the IB program?
Well, it's definitely a lot of hard work. A lot of papers to write, a lot of exams coming up for me in like the next week or so. The whole month of May is just going to be exams. But all of these exams, I have the opportunity to get college credit, which is good because college classes can run up to $1,000+ and that's a lot of money. So with each exam I can be saving money. And then also through the IB program I feel very prepared for college because of all the writing, and because college most of the time is just writing papers and being able to read and comprehend and analyze, and that is all what the IB program is about. So I think I'm definitely prepared to take that next step into college for the next year.
And it's not easy. I know when we surprised you to tell you that you won the award, you were there for a study session where you're studying and cramming for all these exams. So what's it like? You're getting ready for them. Do you feel like you're prepared, that Davidson has prepared you?
I definitely feel very prepared. My teachers don't only teach to the test, but they teach to understand. They teach to prepare me for college, what college teachers are going to be teaching me, and so I feel not only prepared for the test, but then for my future as well. And I mean, the IB program, technically it started my junior year, but I started pre-IB as a freshman and a sophomore, and that's when a lot of my reading and writing skills came. So I definitely feel prepared, and I feel confident that I'm going to take these tests and do well.
Right, and you were telling me earlier you've been in Mobile County Public Schools your entire school career, and then you were at Clark Shaw Magnet School for that I'm sure helped prepare you. But you made a 31 on the ACT, and you have a 5.12 GPA. So how do you do that?
I definitely think with the GPA, even though I'm taking all these really hard classes and I'm really pushing myself with my peers and my teachers, they also motivate me to put my best foot forward and not just be like, oh, it's hard, I can't do it, but I can do it. And so it's definitely helped my self-esteem and my confidence when it comes to learning new courses, even if it's hard. And so I think with that and just having a good support system with my peers and my family and my teachers, that's really pushed me to excel academically. And then with the ACT, it was definitely a struggle. I do not like standardized tests, but that was a big accomplishment for me, and it just took a lot of self-study and, again, support system, motivation, and then my own internal motivation.
And you're talking about the support system. I know when we came and surprised you at Davidson, you were studying, and what impressed me is that when we told you you'd won the award, everyone clapped. Everyone's proud of you. So do you feel like there's a teamwork going on there at Davidson, that you're all pushing each other to do well?
I definitely think so, because even though when we get into that exam room, we each have our own piece of paper, but getting up to that point, we whenever we have our classes, it's very much so like a group discussion. And so along the way in preparing for these exams, we're all rooting for each other, we're all helping each other. If I don't understand something, I know that there are 3 people I can talk to and they're going to help me. So I really think that that support system definitely comes from my peers, and then also my amazing teachers. And my mom is a teacher at Davidson, and she has been really supportive with my journey through IB and then on to college.
So that's the learning part of the award, the leading part. I know that you did an initiative where you had your fellow students and you work on something for the waterfront mission. So can you tell us about that?
Yes, ma'am. So that was actually also part of IB. So IB has something called CAS, which stands for Creativity, Action, and Service. And so like MCPSS, IB it focuses on the whole student. You can do well academically, yes, but you also have to pass to make sure that you're doing things outside of academics and with your community. And one of those is service. So my classmates and I got together and we decided to have a donation drive throughout the entire month of December. And we collected 20 to 10 boxes of toiletries, of clothes, of food, and we actually split it up between Waterfront Mission and the McKimmey Place. So And being able to bring those boxes of goods to the women at the McKinney Place was amazing. And just being able to see their faces and realizing that this may just be for IB, but it's also for something way more than that. And also just being able to see my peers after we had been online for 8 months was really good as well.
Yeah, and so is it just neat to see when you pull together the good you can do? That's what I love about all of these projects that our learning leading students do, is they get their school involved to help the community. So do you think that's important for teenagers to do?
I definitely think it's really important, especially for the leadership aspect, because, you know, leadership is all about having empathy and compassion and thinking about everything but yourself, because you're leading a group of people, you're thinking about how everyone else in that group is going to get to a common goal. So I think on the largest scale is just being a leader of your community. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to leadership, they have untouched potential, because it's scary to lead your whole community or your whole class to do something, but once you take that first step and you have that confidence to do it, it has an amazing impact.
And the confidence, I love that. And I think what's neat about having this job and working with this awards is that you see it from third graders to middle school to high school. And so I'm excited about what you're going to do when you go on to college. But first, tell me about HiQ and robotics. So those are academically focused groups that you're in. So HiQ, what is that?
So HiQ is it's kind of like Scholars Bowl, but we actually get content to study. So we get books to read for literature, we get history books to study off of. So it's definitely, you can work towards it, when for Scholars Bowl it's kind of more of just general knowledge. But for HiQ, that was another opportunity for my leadership and mentorship qualities to come out, because we get new sophomores every single year, and then just teaching them how to study, teaching them how to make questions. And then just also, again, just with the nerves of the competition, this year we did it virtual, but we're still nerve-wracking, because you've studied all this stuff and now it's all coming to pass and you're going to answer these questions. You have 15 seconds to answer. So it's just teaching people how to just cope with that nervousness and just relax and know that everything is going to be okay and that your hard work is going to pay off.
And speaking of hard work, robotics, that's not easy. That's a lot of hard work as well. So tell us, what do you do with the robotics team?
So one of my life mottos is seek discomfort, and that's something that I actually learned through robotics, because I had never touched a robot, I had never programmed, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I came to Davidson, and Michael Fletcher is our robotics mentor, and he encouraged me. He was like, just try it. You don't have to stay for the 4 years. But I tried it, and then by my 11th grade year, I was the CEO of the robotics team, and I just couldn't believe that I had made it that far. And it's just being able to have people at my school and community who can see untouched potential within me that I can then show through my leadership skills, which I would definitely say came from and originated from robotics, because as a CEO I had to manage events, I had to manage our team, I had to send out emails, I had to do all this stuff, and I think that is also definitely prepared me for college in the future, other than just academically.
So I love your motto, seek discomfort. Is that what advice you would give to students coming behind you?
I definitely would, because I know I didn't always think that way. And when I was younger, I was scared to ask for extra ketchup at restaurants. I was so scared to just talk to other people. I was so scared of people. And now one of my favorite things is talking and working with people. So I really think that just putting yourself in situations that are just different. They're uncomfortable. They challenge your perspective, your view, what you're used to. That is how we grow. And I definitely think that middle school into high school and through college and the rest of my life, I want to grow and I want to learn and I want to put myself in different situations, because that's how I become a better human.
And I love that so much, and that's going to make you be successful. I know you're going to UAB in the fall, so we wish you luck. We are so proud of you and all the things that you've done in Mobile County Public Schools. And I want to thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Homeroom, where you've met some of our outstanding students, Brooklyn Cranmore of O'Rourke Elementary School, Kinsley Baker of Booker T. Washington, and Lane Stefuric from Davidson High School, our Learning Leading Award winners. So we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time on Homeroom.